Last week, we were doing operations with numbers, okay? We have established what are whole numbers, what are integers, and all of that. And now we were doing operations with them. So we're going to pick up from there, from where you left off with Teacher Jen, excuse me, and do some more challenging questions. Of course, it's still the beginning of the year. We're easing you guys into these lessons, right? And then, yeah, we'll see how far we get. So the first one says, Clifford claims, excuse me, that adding two numbers will always give him a bigger answer than if he subtracts two numbers. What do you guys think? Is this true or is this false? If you add two numbers, will you always get a bigger number than when you subtract two numbers? What do we think, guys? Remember, we have to interact in here. There are 17 of you in here, so I'm expecting some responses in the chat. Think about it a little bit and tell me what you think in the chat. If I add two numbers, will I always get a bigger answer than when I subtract two numbers? What do we think? Come on, guys. And it says, explain why you say so. But for now, let's deal with, is this true? Is he correct or is he incorrect? What do we think? Anyone? Someone? Okay, I'm going to put down an example and I want you guys to tell me if a statement is true or not. So if I say 2 minus -2, that's subtracting, right? And if I say 2 plus -2, maybe I shouldn't use 2 over and over, né? Maybe I should find another number so you can see the difference. Let's see, 5. There we go. What is 2 minus -5? What is 2 minus -5, guys? What happens to the two negatives in the middle? Wade says 7, and that is correct, Wade. Thank you very much. Yes, it is +7 because these two negatives make a positive. Amohelang says he or she cannot see my screen. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Okay, and share it again. And now everyone should be able to see my screen. Let me know if you can see now, Amohelang. Okay. So those two negatives will then become a positive, which will become 2 plus 5, which is 7. Now what's happening with the second one, guys? The positive and negative will give you what? The positive and negative will give you? Thank you, Wade, for the answer. And Samsung, please change your name, Samsung, so I can refer to you properly. And Yolanda, that's correct, guys. It's going to give us a negative. So 2 minus 5, the answer will be -3. So going back to my question, is he correct? Is Clifford correct, guys? Let's answer the question. Remember, you always answer the question in maths. You don't just do sums. You must go back and see, is his assumption correct? No, ma'am. No, he isn't. Thank you very much. Wait. Okay, I'm going to make my pen a little bit more visible because it seems like, yeah. Okay, so is he correct? Not correct. And my reason is integers. You don't even have to say so much. Integers. I don't know why my handwriting looks like a toddler's one. I'll fix it just now. Okay. Let me fix my writing pad. There we go. Okay. Are we all good with the first one? I hope we are. Okay. Now we have a revision of what we did the last time. It's just 5 questions that will go quick. If you guys participate and tell me what the answers are. So the first one says, when Steve woke up, his temperature was 39 degrees Celsius. 2 hours later, it was 3 degrees Celsius lower. What is his temperature then? Lower implies that we must do what? We see this lower. That implies that we must do what? Am I multiplying it by 3? Thank you, Logan. We must subtract, right? So for number 1, we're going to say this is 39 degrees Celsius. And lower means you must subtract 3 degrees Celsius. That means he is now at 36 degrees Celsius. Okay, number 2. If it is 5 degrees Celsius outside and the temperature drops 17 degrees Celsius in the next 6 hours, how cold will it get? And again, we have a lower or a drop, which implies that we're using which operation? Which operation are we using, guys? Let's hear, guys. Subtract, thank you. So then we started off from 5 degrees Celsius, and if it drops, so we're subtracting 17 degrees Celsius, what is the new temperature? 5 degrees Celsius minus 17 degrees Celsius. Thank you, Ofani, and wait, it is negative 12 degrees Celsius. Okay. Number 3, it will be 12 degrees Celsius tonight. The weatherman predicts that it will be 25 degrees Celsius warmer by noon tomorrow. What will the temperature be by noon? What does warmer mean? If it will be 25 degrees Celsius warmer, then we are doing what? Add. Thanks, Wade. Sorry, someone with a very fancy bag just passed by. So if it is negative 12 right now, and we are adding 25 degrees Celsius, what will my new temperature be by noon tomorrow? Thanks, Bongo Musa and Ofani. It will be 13 degrees Celsius and Yolanda. Okay. Number 4, remember guys, even if your answer's already in the chat, send it anyway, okay? I want to know that you guys are awake and you are participating and learning. Right. Next one. Okay, I see someone who is connected but not connected to sound, which means they cannot hear the lesson. Okay, next one, do it on your own and then tell me what the answer is in the chat. There are 20, well now 19 of you in here. So I'm expecting at least 10 answers. Okay. Let's get going. Once you're done, you just send your answer in the chat. Thanks, Wade. That's 1 response. Thank you, Fanny. That's 2 responses. I'm gonna need more than that. Let's get to 10, guys. Let's see that you're awake and you are doing this work with me. If you don't understand, just stop me, okay? Don't sit and suffer in silence. Thank you, Angel, Linomta, Mene, Samsung. Okay, Samsung. We use polite language in here, okay? No exclamation marks, no capital letters. Let's see how many we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're making progress. 8. We have 8 responses, guys. Let's see who's still left. 9. There we go. 10 people have responded. We are in fact awake, and that is even 11 and 12. Thank you very much. Okay, so scuba diver swam 29 meters beneath the surface of the lake. He then climbs up 15 meters. What is his depth? Now, what does beneath mean? Beneath. Is this a negative or positive number, guys? The surface of the lake, we take it as, let's say this is the surface. I'm going to use a nice blue cookie. We take this as 0 on our timeline, right? So we can either go up or go down. So the surface is 0. So if it says 29 meters beneath the surface, is that a negative 29 or a positive 29? Thank you, Angel. Beneath means you're going lower, right? So if this is 0, going up is what? 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. And going down is negative 1, negative 2, and so on, right? So then 29 meters beneath the surface means this is a negative 29 meters. And then he climbs up. So are we adding or are we subtracting? If he climbs up, are we adding or subtracting? Thank you. We are adding 15 meters. So what is my actual answer here, guys? What is my actual answer here? Thank you, Spelele. My actual answer is, wait, says 44 meters. What does everyone else say? Nice, Mine. It is negative 14 meters. And what does that mean, guys? This means he is 14 meters beneath the surface. That is true, Bongo Musa. Okay, so before you figure these things out, guys, you need to decide on a direction. Okay, you need to decide on a direction. We know that the surface of the lake is 0. And if you're going down, then that is negative. And if you're going up, then that is positive. Okay. If you explain it like that and you get 40, I see the threes. 1, 2, 3, 4 people say 3. That's interesting. Is there anyone who has a different answer? Does anyone has a different answer? No? Okay, we're going back to the X's and Y's, okay? If I am standing, nice, nice, nice. Who's that? Kirani, Spavandla, Daniela. Nice, guys. Okay, if I'm standing at the position -3 on the x-axis, so this is horizontal. So the first one was vertical. We were going up and down. In this case, it is horizontal. Terrible drawing skills, but it's fine. So this person is at -3, and the next one is at +6. How far are we traveling to get to +6? So to get from -3 to 0, how many steps do we need to take? From -3 to 0, how many steps are we taking? 3. But then we need to walk another how many steps to get to 6? So to get to 6, how many more steps are we walking? 6. So in total, how far did we travel, guys? How far apart are these actually? 9. So the rule is you always start with the positive number or the bigger number. Okay, so you say 6 and you minus -3. But what does this minus minus do again? This minus minus does what? Add 6 plus 3, and that is a 9. Okay, first check-in for the day. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Are we good with all of the things we have done so far? You go to reactions for all the people who are new. You go to reactions and you press either this if you understand, or one of these if you're a little bit confused and you want some clarification. And if you have a thumbs down, then you ask a question and I'll help you out quickly. Okay, for 30 people in here, I only have a very few thumbs ups. I'm gonna need everyone else to tell me if they are fine or not. Okay, there we go. More people, more people. Okay, Leachile's hand is up. Nope. I put that down by mistake. Let me see. Leachile there. There we go. You can unmute.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, I'm just a little bit confused about number 5.
Number 5.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Let's think of direction, Leachile. Okay. So let's think of a number line. Okay. There's my number line, 0. The first person is at -3. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
And the second one is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now they're saying, how far apart are they? So how far would this person have to travel to get to the +6? So if you count them, how many will that be? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do you see?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
There we go. The other way you can look at it is direction. If I'm talking east and west, east, and I'm saying one person is 6 meters to the west and the other one is 3 meters to the east, you always start from 0. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
So from the west, you would first have to travel 3 steps to get to the middle. So now you've walked 3 steps and you're in the middle. But now to get to the east where you have to be, you still have to walk how many steps?
3.
To get
No,
to 6.
6.
There we go. So if you've walked 3 and you walk another 6, in total, how many steps have you walked?
9.
There we go. Do you feel better?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. I see there's another hand and I love it. Okay, Tlale, you may unmute.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Hello.
Ma'am, I'm still like lost at the one of Clifford, ma'am. It doesn't make sense that on
One
how
of,
it just
I'm sorry, you were cutting a bit. The one of which one?
Clifford, ma'am. It's very confusing, ma'am,
Oh, Clifford. We're on Clifford. Okay,
because
let's
ma'am, how does it like because don't you like when you say 2 plus 2 doesn't make it because you're adding 2 numbers and it gives you a bigger number.
But
And
he
then you say
said,
2 minus
so listen, Tlale. He didn't say when you are adding two natural numbers. Do you agree?
yes, ma'am.
That would make 3 plus 3 and 3 minus 3 true. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
But he didn't say that. That means we can use integers. Remember, integers are all the set of positive numbers. So this is 0. It's all the 1, 2 forever, as well as -1, -2 forever. Do you agree? So he's
Yes, ma'am.
including negative numbers. Now let's look. Let's do another example, right? If I say 4 plus -1, ne? Are you with me?
Ma'am.
And if I say 4 minus -1, what happens to the symbols in between here? If you have a plus and a minus and you're multiplying them, what do you get?
Negative.
A negative. So this essentially becomes 4 minus 1. And then if you have a negative and a negative, what do you get?
Positive.
4 plus 1. Tell me, what is 4 minus 1?
It is 3.
3. And what is 4 plus 1?
5.
5. So is it true that always, now the problem is he said always. Do you see what the problem with the statement is? He said every single time when you add a number, you will get a bigger answer than when you subtract a number. But is that true based on our experiment here?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, do you see why?
Yes, ma'am.
Here we go. I hope you're feeling better now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions? No other questions. Okay, my dog is having a fit downstairs. I hope you guys can't hear him. Okay. Now, I think, okay, let's see the time. It's too early for my brain break. We'll visit the brain break later. Let's do the bed mass first. Okay, so you guys should know the order of operations, right? You guys should have known this is where I was going with this. Okay, so you guys, originally it was known as BODMAS, but that was very complicated because nobody really knew what the O stands for. So the upgraded version of that is BEDMAS. Okay, where brackets will always come first. Now, when we say brackets, we mean brackets that actually have a sum. Okay, so brackets such as 1 minus 4. Brackets such as 1 minus 4. Okay, not brackets such as -4. This type of bracket is containing the sign. So it's telling you that this is a -4. Are we with me? So when we say brackets, we mean brackets that have a sum. So in other words, if you had this, you would solve this first in a sum. This one, can you solve -4? It's just a number on its own. Can you do anything with that? What do you guys think? Can you solve negative? No, right? It's just the number on its own. So when we say brackets, do not confuse it with these brackets that contain my sign. Okay. My second one will then be exponents, which we have not started yet, but are coming up very soon. And then we have division or multiplication in the same color. Okay. Do you think the order matters in which we do division or multiplication? Do you guys think the order matters? If I multiply before I divide, will that make my answer wrong? No, it doesn't matter. That's why they are in the same color, because whichever one you do first will not affect your answer. Is there anyone who's doubtful of that and wants us to try it? If you want me to show you an example, I will be more than happy to do so. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you. So we are on division and multiplication. If I say 10 times 4 divided by 2. Okay, I'm going to rewrite it, and we're first going to do division in the first one, and in the second one, we're first going to do multiplication. First one, 10 times 4. Let's start with multiplication. What's 10 times 4? We're starting here. 10 times 4 is 40, which you will then divide by 2. And how much is that? 20. Done. Okay, this time we're starting with division. What's 4 divided by 2? So then this will be 10 times 2. So then what's going on here? The answer is 10 times 2 is 20. So all those people who ask for an example, do you see what I mean when I say the order in which you do division and multiplication does not matter? Do you guys see what I meant? There we go. Okay, I like it when you guys feel better about stuff. You must ask questions. And then the same with addition and subtraction, okay? It does not affect your answer. If I say 4 plus 10 minus 7, and I say 4 plus 10 minus 7. Let's first add. Let's first add. What is 4 plus 10? 14. And if I subtract 7, that's 7. Okay. 4. What's 10 minus 7? Excuse me. That is 3. So this is 4 plus 3. And what's 4 plus 3? 7. Do we see my point now, guys? So addition, subtraction, same category. Division, multiplication, same category. Okay, are we feeling much better? I hope we're feeling better about all of that now so that we can continue. Beautiful. Okay, now, before we do all of these sums that I have here for us, there's one other rule that I want us to familiarize ourselves with. I want to see if anyone knows what these stand for. We have a S, we have an N, and we have a V. That's a rule we use when we're dealing with integers. What does the S stand for, guys? Sign. Thank you, Tlale. And my N, and Kirani, and Simtandile. What does my N stand for? Number. That is beautiful that you know that. And my last one, my V stands for variable. At this moment, we are not dealing with variables, so we are focusing on sign and number. This is very important when we're dealing with integers, as we have seen at the top, right? You deal with the minuses, and the plus minuses first before you do the numbers. Now, let's do number B for me, please. Let's do number B. Where do we start with number B? Suggestion, anyone? Where do we start with number B? Okay, Seth says multiplication. So we are starting over here. Okay, so everything else, I'm going to rewrite the way it is. Okay, negative 28 divided by 7. Now, this negative belongs to the 6. Do you guys understand that? So this is not 6 times 3. This is negative 6 times 3. Are we with me? So in that case, we're going to then say a negative times a positive gives us what? A negative, and 6 times 3 is 18, and then plus 14. Then I saw someone say we should go to division. I promise you guys, if you did it the other way around, you were going to get the same answer. Again, we have negative 28 divided by 7. A negative and a positive give us, Seth says 4, but we are still on symbol. Thank you, Seth. So we have a negative, and then my pen decides to stop writing. There we go. Negative 4 minus 18 plus 14. And my final answer is what? My final answer is negative 8. Okay. Hopefully everyone is good with what we just did now. My answer is now negative 8. Okay. Are we allowed to use a calculator? Seth, that totally depends on your teacher. So for me, in term 1, my grade 9s are not allowed calculators at all. Obviously, I won't give you a ridiculous number in the test, but I want to see that you know what these negatives and positives mean. Also, be careful with your calculators because they follow BODMAS. Yes, Motebang.
Ma'am, don't you start with division before multiplication?
It does not matter. Do you remember what I said here? Do you see they are in the
Oh,
same category?
oh,
So
now
it
I
would
get it.
be not. There we go. And if you did them at the same time, it will still give you the same answer. Let's say we divide at the same time as multiplying. You will still get to the same answer. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Kale, I see your hand is up.
So, ma'am, you never like start on the 3 plus 14.
No. Why aren't you allowed to do that? Where's addition compared to multiplication? Because if you start with 3 plus 14, you are skipping multiplication. Do you see there's a multiplication there? So you are not allowed to do that. Tebogo, in a few lessons, we will be doing exponents. Hang on to your hat. Okay, very, very soon. About the week after next week or the week after. we'll be doing exponents. Okay. Is everyone answer? When is the only time you're allowed to add before you multiply? Let's see if someone knows this. When are you allowed to add before you multiply? There's only one time you're allowed to do that. If I have 4, thank you, plus 2 times 3. If I put brackets here, then you have to add before you multiply. Oh, you guys are such geniuses. I love it. Okay. Now, let's go. Let's do number C. Let's do number C. So now we have a huge division line there, and we have a nice sum for us to do. Where do I start? What do these brackets mean? Does anybody know? Thank you. Thank you very much, Seth. So where do we start? We start at multiplication. So I'm going to put this 5 here because at this moment it is not part of my calculation. Okay, 5. Now we have 3 numbers that we are multiplying. Let me do this. Let me say minus 3 and then first multiply these two guys. What is a negative and a negative going to give you? A positive, and 3 times 2. 6. Oh, I saw someone said a negative. You must be careful, guys. You remember to go revise those rules. Go revise those rules about multiplying signs and integers, okay? A negative times a negative gives you positive, and then a positive times a positive gives you, yes, you may raise your hand, Tlale. Thanks, Leachile, positive, and then a negative and a positive will give you, just 1 second, don't put your hand down, a negative. So you guys must write this summary down for yourself so that you remember. If the signs are different, they give you a negative. If they are the same, they give you a positive. Yes, Tlale.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, ma'am, so you don't do like distributing?
No. You distribute if you are adding or subtracting inside. So for distribution, it would have had to look like this. Negative 3 and a, okay, let me move the stuff so I can see what I'm writing here. Negative 3 minus 2. Do you see what the difference is?
Not really.
Here we have 2 brackets. This means negative 3 times negative 2. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
But this means negative 3 minus negative 2.
Oh.
There
Oh,
is no other set of brackets there. Do you see?
ma'am.
Okay, I hope I answered your question. Okay, so you better write that summary down, guys. Better write that summary down. Okay, let's go to the denominator. What do we have in the denominator? All we have is this complication over here. What happens when a negative and a negative? Look up there. 2 negatives give me what? So it's 4 plus 6. Okay, now let's simplify further. Now this is 5, and this is negative 3 times 6. What's negative 3 times 6? Nice. Negative 18 over 4 plus 6, which is 10. And then final step, what's 5 minus 18? Negative 13 over 10. Okay, remember guys, you need to be participating. You can't just watch the lesson. Okay, we are participating. So make sure you're either writing on your book somewhere or you are sending me answers in the chat. Let's have a check-in. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Is everyone good? A thumbs up and a thumbs down. Is everybody good? Okay, I'm hearing way more thumbs up than the first time, which is fabulous. And I see you in the chat, Liam. Thank you. Thank you for responding, guys. I love it. Okay, I think we deserve a brain break. Is there anyone who wants to raise their hand and speak to me during the brain break? Don't worry, it's not maths. It's nothing to do with math. It's just fun. Nobody wants to take part in the brain break. You guys think it's a trick? There we go. Hi, Shale.
Hi, ma'am.
Shale, would you rather play a villain or a hero in a movie?
A hero.
A hero, that's boring. I'm kidding. Which hero, Shale?
Ma'am, maybe Spider-Man.
Spider. I would also like to play Spider-Man, but I would also like to play that other guy. Who is it? Venom. Venom. I would
Also
love to.
Deadpool, ma'am.
And okay, but Deadpool is a little bit. We don't know what's going on there. Which side he's on, eh? I would rather play Venom than Spider-Man. Is everyone saying villain? Hi, guys, what's wrong with you? Oh, okay. Spamanda said, I'll be the Flash. I'll be the Flash. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Seth. I want to be a villain. The Joker. That's
Or Harley
beautiful. Villain.
Quinn. Harley Quinn is...
Or Harley Quinn. You guys are my people. You guys are my people. Okay, I'm surprised at how many people would rather play the villain. Should I be worried about you guys? Should I be worried? Okay, there's another one. Where's the hand that was up there? Maya, why did you change your mind? Okay, nobody else wants to talk to me. It's fine. There we go. Hi, Maya.
Hi, ma'am.
Maya, would you rather be completely bald, as in you don't even have eyebrows, or be covered from head to toe with hair?
Bold.
You don't want to be covered with head to toe.
No.
Maya, you don't want eyebrows.
Ma'am, I'd rather not have eyebrows than have hair everywhere because imagine like just all the sweat built up and everything.
Oh my gosh, guys, you're going to be Bigfoot. Guys, whoever says hair means you want to be Bigfoot. Think about your decisions, guys. Oh my goodness. Some kids is like, you can draw them. I hope you guys can draw eyebrows, man, because I've seen. That's all I'm saying. So everyone who's gonna draw them, I hope you know what you're doing. Okay, is there anyone else? I think 2 or 3 more questions, guys. Okay, it's fine. Would you rather eat a small can of cat food or eat 2 rotten tomatoes? Oof, it's gross thinking about it. A can of cat food or rotten tomatoes. Everyone's saying cat food. What's up with rotten tomatoes, guys? What's the problem with rotten tomatoes? Sometimes you're like, ew. Count me out of both of them. Stomach worms. Gross, says Leachilwe. Oh my gosh. Guys, will cat food not make you sick also? Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. You guys can have your cat food, it's fine. Sometimes it's like, but still, it's different. Okay, guys, and this is the last one. Would you rather use a public toilet that is very dirty and dark, or a public toilet that has a snake in it? So you either have a really dark and dirty toilet or a toilet that has a snake. Ooh, sometimes you're like, I'll take snake. Charlie's like, ain't no way, I'm gonna go with dirty and dark. Ronewa, they're both public. It's just that one is dirty and dark and the other one has a snake in it. So what do you guys say? Snakes are not cute. Oh, on my camp I saw a snake. I forgot to tell you guys. We saw a cobra. We saw a cobra on the camp. And as soon as I saw one, I was like, okay, I want to go home. No, the one with the snake is clean. Let's pretend the one with the snake is spotless. The only problem is that it has a snake. It's spotless. It has nice lighting and all of that. It was a spitting cobra. It was very dangerous, Mtandile. Luckily, we had a snake expert, so he dealt with it. It was a spitting cobra, Ronewa. Hectic. I would never keep a snake. Okay, guys, are you ready? Are we ready? Lachil is like, I'll still go with the dirty one. Thank you, please. Okay. Now, we have 3 different sums here, all with the same numbers, but different types of operations. And we want to see how that affects my answers. Okay. So, I'm going to number these first. We're going to do A, B, and C. Then we're going to see how all of these operations and brackets affect my answers. Okay, are we good? Good to go. Everyone's done. Everyone is stretched. My dog says hi if you guys can hear him. Okay, let's do with A. Where do we start with A? Multiplication. Beautiful, Seth. And we have 2 of them. There's one over there. And there's one over there. So I'm going to go ahead and say A. A negative and a negative give you what? A positive. So my answer is going to be positive 30 times 10. 30 times. Thank you. Thank you. So we have 300 and then we have a plus. So I'm going to highlight this plus so that you know it's this plus over here. Okay. And then again, we have a negative and a negative, and that gives me a positive. And what's 30 times 8? See, guys, I can still give you this in an exam without a calculator. I think you guys can do it. Do you ever get neutral in maths? I mean, sometimes it's possible to get a 0. There we go. Now, these 2 positives give us what in the middle? These positives just make a no. No. It's either positive or it's negative, unless it's 0. So those 2 positives give us a positive, and then it's 300 plus 240, and my final answer is what? 540. Beautiful. Okay, B. All right, this time where do we start? Where do we start with B? Brackets. See, guys, this is the first time we add before we multiply. Now let's see. I'm going to leave this negative 30 over here, right? And I'm going to say times. Now let's go inside my brackets. This is an issue. I feel like I need more colors. There. This is an issue. This plus minus over here, what's going on there? Positive and negative give you a negative. Thank you. Negative 10 minus 8. Okay, equals negative 30 times, what's negative 10 minus 8? Negative 10 minus 8. Anyone? Thank you. Negative 18. Now we are at our final answer. Negative and a negative give us a positive. What's 30 times 18? Think of 18 times 3. You guys should be able to do this. Ronewa has my answer over there. 540. Ooh, interesting. Someone asked about distributive law, distributing. Who is that again? Someone had asked me about distributing. Yes, Tlale, do you see the difference? So with this one, because there were brackets, we could have distributed the 30, and then it would have looked exactly like A. That's why we got the same answer. Do you see what happened there? If I took this 30 and distributed it before I added, I would have gotten the same answer as A. Okay, and now let's do the last one, which is number C. So we have negative 30 times negative 10 again, and that is negative 30 times negative 10, that is 300. This time we have a minus in the middle, okay? This minus is the one coming from here, that one, okay? And then we have negative 30 times negative 8. Again, positive 240. Now, this time, what does a positive and negative give me? A negative. And so my final answer is what? 60. Woo. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Are we good? The floor is open for questions. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yes. Perfecto. Okay. Let me see if I want to be cruel. No, I don't have a difficult one. Okay, that's the end of our lesson then, guys.